Hey guys, Silence here. Welcome to the very first Beyblade discussion video. I guess we can call this a BeyCAST, podcast style video where I talk to you and you discuss with me what are your thoughts about the new upcoming products. So today, or technically on the 21st of September, we got to see the brand new Beyblade X Double Extreme Stadium. So if you guys have not seen the official Japanese Bey channel where they actually showcase the product itself, the stadium plus the exclusive Beyblade that comes with it, go check it out before you're coming back to this video and discussing with me your thoughts on how the product is going to be. So first things first, before we begin, I'll appreciate if you guys actually hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed just yet. Turn on the bell notification icon. That is the most important because apparently I think some of you guys who are subscribed have not been seeing a lot of my content appear on your YouTube feed, so that's gonna help you out, basically to keep up with me, seeing all the brand new content that I have put out for you guys. And of course, not forgetting sharing the content to your friends who are playing Beyblade themselves, just in case they want to learn a bit more about the game and of course the products that are coming out. Alright, so let's talk about the Double Extreme Stadium itself. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up some of my notes here. We're gonna talk about what I have observed from their video, and basically what it's going to be like when we receive the product itself. So first things first, the Double Extreme Stadium. Okay, so I'm pulling up my notes here. So yes, I have it on my screen in front of me. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting because initially when I saw the product itself and the box, so the box did put in a tiny corner in the bottom right hand side corner that it requires AAA batteries. Oh, no, not AAA batteries, batteries. Basically batteries to operate the stadium. So this is not the first time that Beyblade has actually had a stadium where they have electronic parts, doing certain things. Beyblade Burst was very well known for that, having battery operated parts, to cause like chaotic play in the stadiums itself. So apparently Beyblade X is continuing the pattern. So in Metal Fight, if I recall, I think there was magnets involved in the stadiums where you can actually have like certain magnets placed here and there in the stadium, and then the Beyblades will respond accordingly to the magnetic pieces here in the stadium. That is going to change play. So for Beyblade X, we have the Double Extreme circle in the middle portion of the stadium, and it requires 3 AA batteries. So let me double A batteries, 3 AA batteries to operate the, well, initially in my mind when I first saw the product, I thought the ring in the center of the stadium was going to be the one that is like battery operated. You're going to rotate the ring so that it causes the Beyblade to maybe gain momentum while inside the extreme line, then giving it more speed and having it more force to kind of knock out the opponent. But apparently I was wrong. So when they finally showcase what the Double Extreme line is doing, basically there's a plastic platform that raises up and down, so that's kind of interesting because it's gonna give the Beyblade that's stuck in the middle a chance to escape from that death trap and then still use the outer line to kind of KO your opponent. So that's pretty fun. Alright, so the other thing is the switch for the stadium is at the bottom. So the person actually had to kind of like put his hand at the bottom and then turn it on, and then you have the platform raising up and down. And yes, from the look of that, you can immediately tell this stadium has legs. So it's a very interesting thing because basically I wonder how the game masters in each country are going to kind of like have the stadium locked down on the table, considering that the stadium base no longer touches the tabletop itself. There's gonna be legs at the bottom that's gonna be kind of like supporting the stadium, and then it's not exactly easy to have it locked down on the table. So that's gonna be an interesting thing. Game Masters, if you guys are watching this video, let me know your thoughts on how you're gonna secure the stadium. But let's talk about, you know, the pockets. So if you look closely at the Bay Stadium itself right now, the pockets for the over zone and the extreme zone are designed a bit differently from the regular version of the two-player stadium. So the two-player stadium, you kind of have walls in front, you know, kind of like a hole where you have a whole plastic piece that is like the same dimensions of the hole. But this time round, the double extreme stadium doesn't have that whole wall going up where it has the hole there. So it's basically kind of like a high wall, then it drops down and then it joins. It drops down and then it joins. So it kind of leaves a gigantic gap. So most probably in your mind, you'll probably think that, isn't that gonna let the Beyblade escape out of the stadium a lot easier? No, apparently they designed the plastic cover that covers the stadium lower, so it kind of leaves very minimal gap. I don't know if you can see it from the photo that I will put it on the screen somewhere. That gap is now small enough to prevent the Beyblades from even exiting out from the stadium when it's gone into the over zone or the extreme zone. So because the whole stadium is now on a higher platform, right, they had to think of a way to prevent Beyblades from escaping from the over zone and extreme zones and then, you know, flying everywhere, because the stadium is definitely going to be higher than the table. If you guys didn't know, the table in Japan is basically a cardboard and the sides for the Beyblade foldable cardboard table is not exactly very tall. The ones in Singapore we have is slightly taller than the ones in Japan. So yeah, so the old stadium, basically there is a chance for you to basically fly over or past the over zone area, and then you grind the plastic, and sometimes maybe the Beyblade is a bit smaller, it will actually escape and then runs into the table area itself. I'm sure for those of you who have played Beyblade X long enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this new double extreme stadium is designed in a way that, you know, you have a lot more space in the over zone and the extreme area, where the Beyblade just goes in, knocks around a bit, and then it just dies there. It doesn't really have an escaping chance. So yes, Beyblades with revival capabilities might not be able to revive anymore in the double extreme stadium. What are your thoughts about this, guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's talk about it. This is going to be a very big game changer, especially if the double extreme stadium becomes a norm for G3, G2, G1 tournaments. It's going to be very, very interesting. Definitely when the stadium comes out, we are going to do a test play on this stadium. You know, it's going to change the whole strategy about how to play Beyblade X. Is it better to launch into the double extreme zone, you know, the middle of the stadium where the platform rises and goes up and down, or is it better to avoid the hole at the beginning, or it's better to just go in, make use of the smaller extreme line and just KO your opponent straight off the bat? You know, so with that, there's a lot of stuff that we can actually discuss, especially when considering that, you know, Wizard Rod is still currently the dominating center play Beyblade. Can you imagine if Wizard Rod goes into the hole first, and then because it stabilizes there, once the opponent kind of like follows in, because there's maybe not enough space in there for two Beyblades, maybe it should be able to, you know, sustain two Beyblades running inside there at one go. But because of the quick acceleration from both Beyblades, one may not be able to sustain its stability inside there, and because of the force of the other Beyblade, it gets knocked out. So that's gonna be pretty interesting. So a lot of science, a lot of physics, you know, it's just fascinating to think about all this kind of stuff. yeah, so a lot of different kind of strategic play. Once you think about all of these concepts, it's gonna be really exciting. It's gonna be really fun. Yeah, so all right, let's move on to basically talking about the bay that comes with the stadium. So let me see. I'm gonna bring up a photo of the Beyblade itself. It is definitely a very similar looking Beyblade to something else that we have seen in the market before. So this Beyblade is called Bear Scratch. Bear Scratchy. Bear Scratch, basically. So I to be honest, I don't know. It looks too similar to another Beyblade that has been very underutilized. We have some people in Singapore here who are kind of fans of the particular Beyblade, so let's bring that picture up. Yes, Bear Scratch. So first of all, Bear Scratch is smaller in size in terms of diameter and height. You know, well, not really height, but the thickness of the Beyblade, but the diameter of the Beyblade itself, so the round circular surface area, is very similar to Rhino Horn. So if you look at the design itself, yes, I'm gonna bring up the old image where they compared Rhino Horn's height with Knight's Shield. Same thing as what they did with Bear Scratch. So Bear Scratch is actually the same height as Rhino Horn. If you look at the design pattern itself for Rhino Horn and Bear Scratch, it's very similar to each other. It's just that Bear Scratch probably has more sharper edges, or you know, jagged parts, compared to Rhino Horn. Rhino Horn is a thick boy, but very light. So hopefully Bear Scratch might be heavier than Rhino Horn, because Rhino Horn is lacking the weight capabilities to kind of slam the opponent out. But Rhino Horn has always been known as kind of like a defense counter Beyblade. So different play styles, but ended up most people use Rhino Horn as an offensive blade. So alright, so guys, let me know your thoughts about Bear Scratch as well in the comment section down below. Nothing too much to talk about the launcher. The launcher is this black body format, but it comes with a gold colored cord, just like Leon Claw. The claws that hook onto the Beyblade is gold in color as well. The text on the body itself that says Beyblade X launcher or something, it's gold in color, not the usual white, you know, like the font on Beyblade X, most of the products. So yeah, they're going for that. So the next thing that we really need to talk about, how much this stadium is going to cost. First of all, definitely the product will not come with batteries. Batteries not included, because you know, shipping batteries in a product is not advisable, especially when it comes to overseas shipping and all that kind of stuff, because batteries can we all know why. But still, this stadium is looking to be the most expensive stadium set we've seen so far. Mainly because of the motorized mechanism that's going to raise the platform in the tiny extreme circle. So that's going to be a problem. Okay, so this stadium is going to go at, in Japan at least, it's going to come at 8,200 yen. So if I were to convert this into my country's currency, it's Singapore dollars, it's going to be around the 70-ish dollar range, or let's be frank, after shipping and all this, it's not going to be 70-ish dollars, it's going to be like 85, 86, 88, close to $90. It's a freaking expensive stadium set. I'm guessing maybe the points that you get from the QR code is going to be at least about, I don't think it will be the same yen pricing, because majority of times when if any of you guys out there have bought a stadium set before, you know that they won't give you the exact amount of yen pricing to the stadium set. Usually it's going to be slightly lower. So having this price at 8,200 yen, I think the points that you get from the QR code might be about 7,000 or so. So 7 pools. That's fine. But yeah, So comparing to a similar style of stadium set, now if you guys have ever seen the very first stadium set that was released, so that was the let me see, a transparent base plus cover with the Dren Sword special colored edition with the blue string launcher and blue grip. If you know what I'm talking about, I actually have the picture up on the screen. This set was at 5,720 yen in Japan. In Singapore, it was retailing about $60-ish or so, so you can see why I'm talking about the price that is gonna be sold here in Singapore is gonna be at least close to maybe $80 plus to $90. This is a very expensive stadium set. I am not looking forward to trying to import this from Japan to Singapore because, first of all, the thing is huge, big packages, and it might be a bit heavy because of the motor inside the stadium set, and of course, you know, the height size. Yeah, this thing is going to be very expensive to ship anywhere around the world. For those of you who are importing Japanese Beyblades, especially for those in America, other countries like Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, wherever, you know, I wouldn't recommend importing this stadium set at all. But if you can afford it, by all means, you know, even for myself, who I'm collecting Japanese stuff as well for the app. You know, I have an Asia app and I have a Japan app. I don't think I will buy this set from Japan unless well, Amazon Japan is having sales soon because apparently Amazon does this Amazon Day sale thing quite frequently nowadays. With Amazon Prime free shipping from Japan, maybe I might consider importing the one from Japan, but aside from that, if the price is too high, I will forgo it. Anyway guys, what are your thoughts about the new Double Extreme Stadium? Let me know all your thoughts in the description down below. Let's talk about it. Will you be getting one for yourself when it comes to your own country as a regular sale item? I know the Americans probably will have it a bit differently because Hasbro has to produce something kind of like it, but not exactly like it. I mean, looking at you guys having the blue and green line stadium that is tinier in width. It is so narrow. It is not behaving, you know, like we want it to with a Japanese stadium. Then of course there's that bucket stadium that you guys have in Hasbro as well. That has no cover on top. Your Beyblades are gonna fly out and just destroy somebody's face. Oh my god. Yeah. So guys, for those of us who are using the Japanese version of the Beyblade X products in competitive play, what are your thoughts about the Double Extreme Stadium? Are you gonna get one when it's released in your own country? Would you avoid it because maybe it's not gonna be the usual standard stadium that's being used for competition play? Just like the three-man stadium, the white stadium that it was recently released, I don't really see a lot of competitive play for it. Nobody talks about how you can actually strategically play in that stadium. But the Double Extreme Stadium, I have a feeling it might be more used than the white stadium. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, mata ne!